What's up guys, Metal Thrashing Buddy here, and today I'm finally going to run through my Engl Fireball 25. This, I think, is the best amp you're going to get for this size, honestly. And I did a lot of shopping before I got this amp, and I looked into the Kraken 50 watt, I looked into the Rev G20s, I both awesome amps that I want to get, but even more so than I think the 5153s, I think this is a more versatile amp. And I think you're going to get a lot better clean tones. You're going to get a little bit smaller package, which is kind of convenient. And we've got kick-ass 6L6 tubes in them. You can push this thing to about any gain stage you want. And for it being 25 watts, you're not getting a lot of breakup or any kind of like loss in sound quality when you crank it up higher. I run it through this 2x12 orange cab with Celestion V30s in them, and I think it's the perfect amplifier. I'm going to run you through some sounds, run you through its options. You have a clean gain, a lead gain, bass, middle, treble, lead volume, a mid boost, which I hardly ever use, but I could see how that's handy. Your clean and lead switch right here, master and presence. That's one thing I liked about this small amp, is that it gives you all of the options of a really big amp, except for I wish that there were two separate channels for your clean and lead volumes. That would be really nice. But other than that, I think this is a really, really awesome amp. This is my workhorse amp. I use it for everything. Most of the audio you hear, unless I'm doing it on a specific plugin or amp, is from this amp, running it into the Giga Drums oversized Cali cabs, which I'm doing right now. So this is my typical setup right here with a Tube Screamer Mini in the front, and this is the tone you get. The best feature about this, actually, which I was very skeptical of, because you don't know if they're going to be great or not, is definitely the gate in the back of it. There's a gate knob on the back of this amp, and you do kind of have to crank it up. I have it at least 75% of the way up, if not all the way up. I forget, but I mean, it works. And it works when you have a bunch of pedals running into it, and it works with, you know, overdrives and distortions, and you don't know what kind of gate you're going to get in tube amps. I've heard terrible things about the that just came out, the 5150, that new 5150 that just came out, the classic or whatever it's called. Heard terrible things about that one's gate, and I'm just so thankful that this one is a really good one. You can hear it right here. Flawless gate. That's with a tube screamer attached to it. I have my lead gain always just at about midnight, bass at around midnight, middle a little less, 11 o'clock. The treble you want to crank up on this amp, I think, a little bit. It can be very, I mean, it's a cool thing about it. It can be very classic rock sounding. It can be very brutal metal sounding, but the more metal you want to get it, you want it to be a little bit clear as well, without making it sound just too straight up wacky and like obnoxiously clean and twangy. My presence, I do keep at about 3 o'clock as well. I have that cranked up really high. I mean, that's all your preference. And one of the reasons that I got this is that the Kraken doesn't have a presence knob on it, and the tone you get is the tone you get. It's a little nice to be able to shape it here. I'm going to give you some tones with the Tube Screamer off, and I think I'm going to turn some knobs for you. I think it's a really, really good tone, but, you know, I prefer to always run a Tube Screamer. Mind you, my Tube Screamers, when I have them on, they barely have a little bit of level, like, on it, and just very slight usage with this. This is without the Tube Screamer. I'll give you a comparison again with it back on. The difference is pretty extreme, kind of, listening to it now just on its own. Get yourself a tube screamer if you don't have one. That's why I've done like tons of videos on them specifically. So let's turn this tube screamer off and let's turn some knobs here. Let's go to lead gain at about 2 o'clock. Let's turn it down. Turn that up to 3 o'clock. Let's do lead gain all the way up. Treble up. So, I mean, I never run it that high. You're probably never going to run it that high if you're recording and doing practical things with it. But that's just a good example of how brutal you can get that without a tube screamer on. And, like, this is running with my Gibson Les Paul 1950 Standard, which, you know, is a incredible guitar, but it's not, you know, a, like, metal specific guitar like some sort of Iron Label Ibanez or something. And this is my, like, dream combo right here, is this Les Paul, that orange cab, and this Engl right here. It's a match made in heaven. I can't say enough about it. You can get it as rock and roll as you want, as brutal metal as you want, and like you can get it as clean as you want. So I'm going to dive into the cleans a little bit. I think you get the idea on the gains. I mean, it's the fucking coolest 25 watt metal amplifier out there. We're on the clean channel now, and the bridge pickup. Switch it to the neck pickup. This is my favorite tone. That's about with my clean gain at like 10 o'clock. Beautiful cleans you can get on this amp. And last but not least, I'm going to run through some leads on the neck pickup, give you an idea of some really smooth leads on this amp, which I think is something that it does really, really good. I could go on and on all day about this amplifier. You know, I'd been asked a lot since I got this about the Iron Ball and the Fireball, and I'm still glad that I went with the Fireball 25 instead of the Iron Ball. And I know the new Iron Ball SE has built-in effects in it, which I think is awesome. I'm a big fan of things just being ready to go in your amp. But I specifically wanted an amp with an effects loop that I could run effects through. And I don't have all of my pedals set up right now today, but I run my Earthquaker Devices Dispatch Master through this. I run my Boss Chorus through this. And I mean, the combination of the Dispatch Master and this amplifier is fucking phenomenal. This amp can take you anywhere you want it to go, whether you want to do stuff like the Black Keys, or you want to do stuff like Cradle of Filth or Black Dahlia Murder, or you want to do like Lamb of God. And I mean, straight up, all of this just with my Gibson Les Paul, I can make any kind of tone that I want with this combination. This is by far the best rock metal amplifier in 25 watt form that you can find. The features are fantastic. I think the total on this thing is $13.50 retail. It's built really well. It's got the gate in it. It's got power soaking options that go all the way to no cab 0. And that's how I run everything into my computer with the Get Good Drums cabs. It's fucking awesome. It's very user friendly. Super simple. There's no like cab IR stuff in it. You do that all through the computer. For as simple as it is and innovative as it is, it's like my dream amp come true. Thanks so much for checking out the video. Comment what your favorite little lunchbox amp is. If you consider this a lunchbox, it's not super tiny, but in comparison, it's pretty damn tiny. This one's my favorite. I'm thinking about still picking up a one of the smaller Marshalls, the $500 tube amp Marshalls, to give that a shot. And I definitely would like to have a Kraken in the collection. Same with a Rev G20. Let me know what your favorites are. Thanks for checking out the video. Like and subscribe. New videos every week. Gear reviews, random chats, things you need, guitar covers. Trying to do a lot more covers soon. Thanks so much for checking out the video. I'm Buddy. See you next time.